of this is for us. So let me handle it.
Welcome to ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy. So who's the bad guy in WandaVision? Well, according to Monica at the end of episode 4, it's
all Wanda.
What?
But the question is, which Wanda is it? I want to re-examine the show so far, especially those few moments when reality seeps into this fantasy. Now let's see what clues we can find. And as with any mystery, this is more fun if all of you contribute, so let me know your theories down in the comments or at me on Twitter.
Let's go!
So I've posited in past videos that some outside force, like Hydra or the villain Nightmare, was manipulating Wanda into creating this reality. So let's assume, just for a moment, that Monica's wrong and Wanda's being manipulated. Then these commercials could be some form of mind control.
Strucker, he'll make time for you.
And maybe the Vision isn't dead. This evil force is threatening Wanda with his death, so she'll stay in Westview.
We could go wherever we want.
No, we can't.
This is like a bargain with the devil. If you stay here, then you can bring back the Vision. Now, I originally thought that this mystery villain wanted Wanda's children, which is why the town subliminally encouraged her to make babies.
For the children.
For the children.
This other force could be what terrifies Agnes and her.
Because we're all...
Stop it!
But that theory starts to break down by the end of episode 4. After Wanda expels Geraldine, she very deliberately rebuilds the wall of her home. It's not fixed automatically or repaired in a blink like the Vision's suspicions from episode 3.
I think something's wrong here, Wanda.
The case is even more stacked against her in episode 5 when we see her stealing the Vision's body and emerging from the portal to threaten cops.
This will be your only warning.
So, does this all mean that
I'm the bad guy?
So now let's assume that Wanda is the one who's doing this, and let's re-examine all of the clues that we've seen so far and answer the question, is Wanda a villain now? Well, she's already been a villain before. She was willing to throw in with a murder bot to get revenge on Tony Stark for her childhood trauma. This is after Stark and the Avengers had already saved the world from aliens. But, I mean, hey, at least she drew the line at genocide.
We would destroy the Avengers. Make a better world.
It will be better.
When everyone is dead.
That is not...
After her brother is killed, she found a new family, the Avengers, who soon rejected her.
You locked me in my room.
Then she falls for Vision, only to watch him die twice. So she's got even more trauma in her origin story than most villains. Even Loki's backstory isn't this messed up. Spoiled rich kid who was only second in line for the most powerful throne in the universe. Boo-hoo. So it wouldn't surprise me if Wanda woke up one day and said, screw it, I want what I want, and I'm going to make the world a better place for me. But the thing is, it's not enough for Wanda to just invent her own little world. This submersion in a new life isn't real unless she believes it's real.
Is this really happening?
It would be like playing with your action figures.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
No, this fantasy only works if Wanda believes that it's real. If most of us were capable of creating our own pocket reality, we'd probably make ourselves a superhero or a king or...
Someone important. Like an actor.
But Wanda has already lived an extraordinary life. What she longs for now is the ordinary, the mundane, the silly, the kind of life where your biggest worry is impressing your husband's boss and not fighting murder bots. But then, you might be wondering, why does Wanda still have problems at all in this reality? Why not create a perfect pocket universe where you could eat ice cream all the time without gaining weight, and there was always a new episode of Breaking Bad on TV?
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world? No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost.
Thanks, Agent Smith. Wanda's struggles are actually the key to the illusion. They prevent her, or the Vision, from thinking too hard about what's happening, because they get distracted by all sorts of hijinks. See, maybe if this life were too perfect, then she could start asking questions about where she was or how Vision was alive. This almost happened in episode 1.
Well, really, I think it's a perfectly simple question. Honestly, why did you come here?
But I'll get back to that in a second. Every episode of the sitcom revolves around Wanda and Vision trying to preserve their illusion of normalcy. If the townspeople discover who she really is, then she can't be normal anymore. The story would suddenly be about a small town coping with superpowered people living next door. And that reality is too much like the real MCU, where aliens invade all the time and heroes face consequences for their failures.
Lagos.
For when you make a mess, you didn't mean to.
That's why the premise of the sitcom is superpowered people hiding their abilities, because this is how they can preserve their normal life, their fantasy life, in Westview. Wanda wants this to be her home because the Vision is still dead, but here he is alive and they can have a family. Now, for most of the first 3 episodes, Wanda and Vision are happy members of this sitcom reality.
And they lived happily ever after.
But then, sometimes, Wanda seems genuinely puzzled before the sitcom plot reasserts itself, restoring the sitcom back on its axis.
Look, it's the star of the show!
Or sometimes she puts the hammer down and corrects reality herself.
No.
She also seems genuinely amazed when the world turns to color. So it seems to me that we have 2 Wandas working here. Wanda who's controlling everything, and sitcom Wanda. Bad Wanda and good Wanda. Or Gollum Wanda and Smeagol Wanda.
Nobody likes you.
Not listening. Not listening.
Now, if you're not familiar with Lord of the Rings, there's a character named Gollum who has a split personality. Basically, he started off as an ordinary person named Smeagol. A lot of bad things happened to him, so he developed a persona called Gollum that would protect him from harm.
I saved us. It was me. We survived because of me.
So let's follow this new train of logic. Wanda has some kind of psychotic break and creates a pocket reality for herself. But to enjoy that reality, she has to shut her mind off from ever remembering her previous life.
And we were married.
Yes, we were married.
Now, this is something that's happened more than once in the comics. Wanda's memory of her children was taken away. In the story House of M, she rewrote reality and forgot her old life. Following that, Dr. Doom erased her memory so he could marry her. There's strong evidence for this in episode 5. Wanda says,
I don't know how any of this started in the first place.
Now, it seems to me like Smeagol Wanda is just as ignorant about her past as the Vision is.
Don't know what you're talking about!
Stop lying to me!
So when Geraldine mentions the real world,
He was killed by Ultron.
it makes Gollum Wanda come to the surface.
I'm just your neighbor.
Then how did you know about Ultron?
Now, forgetting the past is also an easy way to ease your suffering from trauma without actually coping with it. The way sitcoms help the audience cope with their lives without ever actually solving real-world problems.
Tonight, on a very special blossom.
So now, all of her previous traumas are fodder for jokes.
My husband and his indestructible head.
And the traumatic events of her life, the Stark shells that killed her family, Strucker's experiments, Hydra, all of these are now trifles. They're interludes, commercials, something you ignore until the real show comes back on. Now, all of this is for the benefit of Smeagol Wanda, good Wanda. But there are times when the selective amnesia wears off and Gollum Wanda has to step in.
I have what I want. And no one will ever take it from me.
Let's look closer at the 8 brushes with reality that Wanda has experienced so far on this show. In episode 1, Wanda seems the most clueless. The episode begins with her and Vision not being able to remember a date on the calendar.
It's a special day.
Perhaps an evening.
Great significance.
To us both.
Naturally.
Obviously.
Exactly.
Now, the gag of the episode is they each have a different idea of what this date means. To Vision, this is dinner with his boss, a way to advance in the future. To Wanda, it's their anniversary, a celebration of the past. In the same way, Vision keeps probing for reality, the life past Westview, while Wanda pines for their romantic past. Once dinner is served, the camera work changes from 3-camera sitcom to single camera. And when the hearts press Wanda for details on her past, she looks genuinely flummoxed. This is sitcom Wanda. Then, as Mr. Hart won't relent, Wanda looks at him and he begins to choke. This choking was caused by Gollum Wanda trying to protect sitcom Wanda. Mrs. Hart desperately wants to break character and help her dying husband, but she can't.
Stop it. Stop.
And then Gollum Wanda commands Vision to break character and help him.
Vision, help him.
But instead of this raising any questions like, how did you pass your hand into my throat? The specifics are cheerfully forgotten and reality, sitcom reality, can resume. But episode 2 is where we see Wanda's split personality really manifest. There's the incident with the helicopter, which sitcom Wanda does not understand. Then Agnes distracts her. This is because Agnes is working for Gollum Wanda, most likely out of fear. Agnes has been tasked with incorporating Wanda into this world.
Dottie is the key to everything in this town.
And making sure she has children.
School admissions.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
She even loans Wanda a rabbit, the symbol of fertility. Reality encounter number 3. The pool party. If a radio called you by your name directly, it would make anyone paranoid that they were being watched. In this moment, Wanda loses her concentration and her hold on Dottie. This is when Dottie, the real Dottie, is able to break character. Like someone waking from a dream, she asks,
"Who are you?"
This creates a break in Wanda's sitcom reality, symbolized by the breaking glass and the burst of color on Dottie's hand. And by the way, I think we see this same break in concentration in episode 3.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
Wanda is distracted by her pregnancy and forgets to control Herb.
Thanks, buddy.
He's like an NPC in a video game that's frozen or glitching out.
Looking good.
Slow down, my man.
All through episode 2, the townspeople are subconsciously encouraging Wanda and Vision to have kids.
It's for the children.
For the children.
For the children.
This is one of the main reasons I thought some other mystical force was controlling her, because it wanted to use her children. But now we're considering that maybe it's Wanda who wants to have kids. The subliminal messaging is just her subconscious, symbolic dream imagery like the stork or the rabbit. Gollum Wanda guiding the reality to influence Smeagol Wanda to have kids. Then, in episode 5, the twins grow up and remind her of her brother.
Do you have a brother, Mom?
I do.
Then, after Agnes conveniently finds the dog, they encourage her to resurrect the dead.
You can fix anything, Mom. Fix the dead.
This could be Gollum Wanda using her children to encourage Smeagol Wanda to bring back Pietro. And Agnes is playing along because she's afraid of Gollum Wanda. Then there's the beekeeper. I wasted a lot of time wondering, why bees? Is it connected to the beehive? Hexagons!
Not the bees!
Now we know that this is a sword agent who is actually in a hazmat suit. But the reality distortion that Gollum Wanda created turned it into something similar that would be in period for the 1960s. A beekeeper suit. So the bees are there to explain to Smeagol Wanda why a guy in a beekeeper suit would appear on your block. Don't mind me, I'm just tending to the sewer bees. Smeagol Wanda is scared, but then Gollum Wanda takes charge, rewinding reality to a more fitting state.
No.
But then something unexpected happens. The world is colorized. Personally, I don't think this is part of Wanda's original plan. Each burst of color in the show represents a loss of innocence. The helicopter crash made them fornicate. The blood was a flash of violence, and Wanda's pregnancy propels them forward through time. Once sitcoms became colorized, they slowly became better reflections of the real world. Just like in WandaVision, fake Westview will get more realistic the closer it gets to present day. Wanda's fifth brush with reality is her encounter with Geraldine.
He was killed by Ultron, wasn't he?
This distracts her so much that she fully loses control of Herb and Agnes, who are terrified of Geraldine but can't tell Vision why.
She came here because we're all what?
Agnes is terrified that Herb is going to spill the beans to Vision.
Because we're all...
Stop it! So why? I mean, you'd think if they were trapped, they'd want the superhero to help them escape. But they are terrified of Gollum Wanda. They want Smeagol Wanda to stay happy, clueless, and live her sitcom life. They don't want the wrath of evil Wanda.
You have to stop her.
Stop who?
She's in my head.
Inside, Geraldine mentioning Ultron makes Gollum Wanda fully emerge.
Then how did you know about Ultron?
Now notice this is where it becomes widescreen again. This is showing a shift in perception because Gollum Wanda is fully aware of her past. She's still part of the main MCU, while Smeagol Wanda is the one living inside the 4x3 TV show. Then, after she kicks Geraldine out, she seems surprised. That's because sitcom Wanda is realizing what Gollum Wanda made her do. After she repairs the damage, she tends to her kids, trying to once again enjoy her reality. Or maybe she just feels guilty and I'm reading too much into this. But then, the jump scare. Brush with reality, number 6. She's horrified when she sees what Vision looks like. But she's not surprised. It's more like she knows, but doesn't want to be reminded. She composes herself, and then Vision looks normal again. So I'm going to throw a theory out there. Vision doesn't actually look like this. This is Wanda's trauma manifesting in this reality, like she's using her powers to temporarily reveal her worst fears. Or maybe this is her remembering what he looked like before she created this pocket reality. So Gollum Wanda is reminding her, this is why you need me. This is why you need this town, and we can never leave.
I have everything under control.
Brush with reality number 7. Vision goes off book and disrupts the scene, so Agnes, terrified, asks Wanda for instructions.
Do you want me to take that again?
Agnes broke character and spoke to the show's director, Gollum Wanda, but Smeagol Wanda has no idea why she's acting this way.
I'm sorry?
Now, it's also possible that these breaks in reality have been happening in all of the past episodes, but Gollum Wanda edited them out.
Just like all the jump cuts. Wanda decides what makes it onto her show and what doesn't.
And the final brush with reality is a doozy. The drone arrives in town. Smeagol Wanda has no idea what this is, but after it's weaponized, Gollum Wanda comes out.
We survived because of me.
And then she drags the drone into the outside world. This sure does seem like she's a bad guy.
You've taken an entire town hostage.
Well, I'm not the one with the guns, Director.
But consider this. Maybe this Wanda is still a hero. She took Vision's body from S.W.O.R.D., and the episode makes it clear that
he didn't want to be anybody's weapon.
So what if Wanda took Vision because S.W.O.R.D. was trying to turn him into the new Ultron, and she formed the Hex specifically to protect the two of them from S.W.O.R.D.?
No one will ever take it from me again.
That's also interesting that Smeagol Wanda is losing patience with hiding her abilities.
Well, I'm tired of hiding those.
Maybe this means that she's subconsciously trying to reject the illusion. For instance, Monica approaches the barrier like an idiot.
Watch it.
But maybe this is because Smeagol Wanda was calling out for her to help.
A town full of civilians and you, a telepath, brought a S.W.O.R.D. agent into your home.
Smeagol Wanda draws the line at bringing back the dead.
We can't reverse death, no matter how sad it makes us.
But then, events conspire to make her do exactly that. Maybe this is all too complicated. Maybe Wanda is straight up evil, or maybe this is actually the devil or Hydra manipulating her. But this line really got me thinking.
I don't know how any of this started in the first place.
That maybe Wanda is the victim here. She's just trying to create a safe place for herself, and maybe doesn't even realize that she's harming other people.
Do you really think that I am controlling everything?
What's going to be interesting is the aftermath, because even if she's not doing this intentionally, the world is going to label her a villain. Well, that's just what I think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.